I bought this Ethernet cable tester, just moved into this house, had the opportunity to do some renovations, ran an Ethernet line into this room, and it didn't work. I went and plugged in the modem on the far side of the house, and when I was connecting this modem extender or Wi-Fi extender here, it's saying that it could not connect, and I have the Ethernet cable here. So right now, plug the Ethernet cable in. I went through and I tested all the different cables that were connected to this. I don't have one connected to this right now, but I went through and plugged it into the test port. So the test port is right there. There's this QC port. I couldn't figure that out in the instructions, but that's not a big deal here. The test port really does make a big difference. I'll go through and show you how it works. But my gosh, what it did was it helped me find the fault was actually in this connector here. And once I pulled it off and realized that that was the fault, I looked inside here, and sure enough, pins 2 and 3 inside there are collapsed. They're not springing up like the other ones should be. And I found that by really just starting to wiggle things here at the connection. It was telling me here that 2 and 3 were not showing up properly, but then I plugged it in one time and it did work. The number 3 worked and only number 2 wasn't working properly. So I wiggled it a couple times, and then I was seeing that 2 and 3 were faulty, but I still didn't rule this out. I didn't know where it was, if it was on the other end of this cable or where it was. But went through the house. I have a union up in our attic as well for 2 cables because I didn't have one to go the full length. It's about 150 feet from this room to the front of the house. But my gosh, I'm so glad that I got this. All right, now here's how it operates. All right, so I have 2 ends of one cable here, and you're going to plug in one end on one side, and then you just push it into place. Hear that click, and you go through and move this toggle down to test, and then it'll go through and it'll tell you if it's showing the proper connection and the pins are lining up properly for it. You can also go into slow mode, so if you wanted it to go really slow, say if you needed to be able to verify something that was just a little further away, it works really good to be able to do that, to be able to test that out. And then you can move the toggle up to off. But for QC, I don't have a line in there, but let's go through and I'll move this cable to QC and see that helps. There we go. You see it running through all the different ones. So that means that it is actually identifying all the different ports on there are all lined up, 1 through 8. When I did this earlier with a different cable, it was skipping 2 and 3 and then going, so 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So great. So that helps me know that all of them are working properly, and it's illuminating all of them on this side and then running through them quickly on this end here. So before you go ahead and change anything, always make sure you just turn it to off, and that is how that operates. So really nice. You can do it on single cables. You can do it on long runs that you have going from one side of the house to the other. Now, one thing you can do if you're going from one side of the house to the other is you can have a helper, so they can stand on one side and you can plug it in and then you can tell them. The other thing that I found was super helpful was I just used the second phone here and I did a video call. So I was able to do a video call from here into my phone here. And so I was able to actually go to a different room and show it off. I'm going to show you what that looks like on the other side. All right, I set a video call up here. So we have the video call here happening. I have the connection there going to that part of the remote tester, and then I have the remote tester seen in the video here to get sure that I can actually see it. And I'm going to walk to the other side of the house here. Just moved in, we got boxes all over the place. But here we go. Go into we put a dedicated plug and network up here in the pantry area. And I'm gonna go through, put this one right here for easy identification. I'm gonna take this one here out of the back of the modem, and that plug there is gonna go into the tester. So the tester right here, do this one-handed. So it does make it a little more tricky. All right, we have that one in there. And now I'm going to go through and put it on test. All right, so we have it testing. And also you can now see it in the video call also going through all the numbers. 3. So you just wait, for this, because the Ethernet, you need it to say 8. And then you go through and see those 8 to make sure that it all is going correctly through there. So it's it's that easy. My motion sensor light turned off here. So I'll turn that back on. Now, how cool is that I can go all the way to a different side of the house. I can unplug this, test it out, be able to use technology to my advantage, doing a video call here and see it. This thing, just what a lifesaver for me to be able to test and be able to find out where the problem was, isolate the problem, and get it done. And I mean, it's so easy. This thing is so easy. It takes one AA battery, and then you connect it together, go through here. The two parts go together as well, so you can sit here and so you don't lose them. They do lock together, so you can more easily put the ports. There's the little plugs that go in the ports as well. So just make sure that you're replacing those when you're done with it. It just keeps any dirt and debris out of them. But my gosh, this thing was a lifesaver, and I know it's going to be a lifesaver for you as well.